feeling a little under the weather, so this is going to be a short and sweet episode. But I'm happy to report that we are on positive words beginning with K. And one of my favorite ones that someone put down, I was hoping there'd be a definition that made sense in our universe, and there happens to be one. So our first word is kaleidoscope. And here's the definition of how it can relate to us. I think we all know that it's a toy that does fun little patterns, but this is the definition that I liked. A constantly changing pattern or sequence of objects or elements. So the reason I related to it and liked it was because of the constantly changing. If we're the sequence of objects or elements, if we stay gambling, there's no kaleidoscope. We go in, we lose, we win. We're numb, we go home. We go back, we win, we lose, we leave. There's no changing pattern. The pattern is the same. So my recovery, and I'll speak just for me, is a kaleidoscope because it's always changing. It's not go to the casino every day for me, or place an online bet, or whatever your gig is. It's learning something different. It's, pre-COVID, it was Sundays were church, Monday was group, Wednesday could be group, or it could be Zumba. The classes, who I speak to, like, I have to pick who and what activities I'm going to do based on frequency. So if Laura teaches Zumba 4 times a month, but there's a once a quarter event at the center, I have to go to the center because the frequency is less. Like, that's how I make my tiebreakers, because there's so much good stuff. There's so many objects and elements to choose from, that I need a way to sort it all out. So I love that. I love imagining my recovery life as bountiful of color and just twisting, and, like if we did look into the toy, all the change and the evolution, that's how I view my life now. So I really liked that word. The next one, it's going to be a 4-letter word. But it was so popular that I guess that's kind of how I'm deciding, right? What's popular, what words I like. So this one is kind, and there was a lot of kind people participating. In the textbook definition, has to do with being, kind in character or nature. A group of people or things having similar interests, that's like not the definition that I like the best. It's more having or showing a friendly, generous, or considerate nature. That's what I think that most people meant by when they said kind or kindness. There's also affectionate and loving. And I think that our communities, the communities that I'm posting my requests to give me a letter or give me positive words with the letters, are kind. I just recently learned, this was kind of funny, and I'm embarrassed. I probably shouldn't share this with you because I should know better. But somebody had said it to me as, I guess it was a trade. It was, well, you can work it off in kind, which had to do with, like I said, trade. And in the context of this, it had to do with, it was being silly, but it was in regards to, if you give me this, I'll give you sex. And I was like, but it didn't come across that way. I was like, well, you can take it in kind. I'm like, what the hell is that? So that was one of my fun learnings this year. I now know that kind can mean trade for other fun stuff, I guess. All right. The last word and this one's just very Bobby-ish where she is in her world and life right now, is kismet. That one showed up, and that would have been the word I posted if I was the one taking the survey or participating in the survey, not issuing it, because I like it, that or karma, but kismet just sounds so much cuter. And that's destiny or fate. And again, the way I view my recovery in my life right now, I think that kismet intervened or happened to get me here. Like, my fate was to, like, this is how I look at it. All right, this is going to sound crazy, and it's going to take me back a few years, but when I was a floral person in grocery 30 years ago in the stores, I liked training and developing people once I knew how. Then I became a truck driver, and I became an instructor. And when you're an instructor, they really teach you how to communicate and break things down. Well, and to drive a truck, obviously, and the rules. But they teach you how to be a teacher, essentially. And you have to, you're essentially on stage for your students, right? All my business stuff that I've learned from grocery and the people and all that stuff have applied, as I've launched the podcast and stuff. There's been a lot of information from my experience. So I think that kismet landed me here, but it was working as long as 30 years ago because it gave me, and I know it's a little deep and a little extreme, but it brought me to this point right now. Like that was the fate. That was why I learned how to teach. That was how why I learned how to work with other people and why I learned the business stuff. I think it was all kismet. I think that, and I know I just said this as a negative yesterday, but I think that being involved with someone or meeting someone in treatment, it was kismet. I was supposed to meet them for whatever reason they entered my life. And I know a lot of the reasons, but that was kismet. The way that we ended up there at the same time, it was kismet that my mother invited herself on my cruise. I just don't think of things as coincidence anymore. I think that they happen for a reason, and, it is our kismet, our fate, our destiny. So those are my K words, folks. Tomorrow we get to do L, which should be a little easier, I would think. I guess we'll see what you guys come up with. All right, beautiful people. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the evening. And you're well